Welcome to this DAFMedia special presentation, the Memorial Day Parade 2022 here in beautiful Darien, Connecticut. Damian Andrew joining you, and joining me is a 20-year resident of the town of Darien. Loves this town, the former chairman of the Darien Planning and Zoning Commission and a current member of Darien's Board of Education, and he does this for us every year that we've been broadcasting the Darien Memorial Day Parade, Mr. John Cini. And John, it is one of those Chamber of Commerce days today. Weather can always be a factor. Not this year. It is actually absolutely picture perfect, and it's so glad to have you here. I know you and I have been exchanging emails, exchanging texts, and this is something that we always look forward to do. Kind of the unofficial start of summer, but really, when you break it down, so much more than that. A special day across the country, a special day here in Darien, Connecticut.
Absolutely. And good morning, Damian, and thanks for having me again. It's a spectacular day. This is the first year in 3 that the Post 53 EMS services are going to have their annual food fair after a COVID break for the last 2 years. So picture perfect weather for that event. And we're going to talk a bit about the ceremony right now and what truly this holiday really means in memorializing those that fought for this country. So the town's Monuments and Ceremonies Commission invites all parade participants and spectators to attend the Memorial Day commemorative ceremony at Spring Grove Veterans Cemetery at the parade's end. That's right by the library across the street from the police department. It will open with an invocation by Pastor Landon Resser of Christ Community Church and the singing of our national anthem by the Tudor Singers under the able direction of Mr. Chris Andrade. Middle school U.S. history teacher Lucy Berry will be our keynote speaker as well. First Selectman, Monica McNally, in her first year as First Selectman, will then read the names of Darien's 92 servicemen who lost their lives in defense of our country in all conflicts from the Civil War on. An honor guard unit from VFW Post 6933 will discharge 3 volleys to salute their fallen comrades, followed by taps and a concluding benediction. It's been said by many senior citizens and veterans of our parade in Darien, and the ceremony is a throwback to time-honored events which they recall in their younger days. Come once, and they will remember it forever. We would like to also thank the Monuments and Ceremonies Commission members for their time putting this parade together each and every year. And a really special shout out, Damian, goes to Terry Gaffney, its chairman. Terry helps us organize all this commentary, basically our script every year, and plays a very large part in organizing the ceremony after the parade. And in fact, the Monuments and Ceremonies Commission does much more than just the parade. Perfect example is yesterday the commission organized the unveiling of a wartime veterans street sign to honor the hero brothers Philip A. Morehouse and Alan R. Morehouse. The brothers fought together in the 1st Division in World War II. Alan lost his life during the D-Day invasion, June 6, 1944. However, Philip came back to Darien and lived in our community for the rest of his life and was active in local government.
And that Memorial Day commemorative ceremony in Spring Grove Veterans Cemetery will take place, as you mentioned, John, at the conclusion of the Darien Memorial Day Parade 2022. And the parade is getting to our viewing location here, right in front of Nielsen's. And we're about ready to get this parade going. It makes its way down from the Good Wives Shopping Center, and it ends here at the library, and we are right near the library, so this is the end of the parade route. And while we have a quick second, John, I just want to give a shout out to our DAFmedia production crew here today. Adam Nelson, both juniors at Darien High School, and Braden Schenk is our director and also doing our graphics. Adam is on our main camera. And without our student volunteers, DAFmedia could not do the wonderful things that we do. So DAFMedia, also a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation.
So our first marchers are the Darien Police Color Guard. It includes Sergeant Chris Jimenez, Detective Greg Benedetto, Officer Edwin Virgil, and Officer Mike Dos Santos.
Love seeing the color guard. The Grand Marshal of this year's parade is John Walcott, and he is riding with his wife Jane, and John achieved the rank of captain in the U.S. Army before being shipped to the Central Highlands of Vietnam, where he was awarded a Bronze Star for his service. John's company moved him to Darien on a temporary assignment, and when that assignment was up, John and his wife chose to stay in Darien as they saw it as the ideal place to raise their family.
And then following is keynote speaker Lucy Berry. She's riding with her husband Tim. She comes across a family with deep ties to the U.S. Navy, a product of the Darien school system from kindergarten through high school. Lucy is a beloved teacher in U.S. history at Middlesex Middle School. Her deep love of the country has been exemplified by the creation of middle school's What Memorial Day Means to Me prose and poetry program.
And First Selectman Monica McNally, Selectman John Zadrowski, Selectman Sarah Newman, and Selectman Marcy Minnick have just passed by.
And former First Selectman Jamie Stevenson as well. She was our 10-year First Selectman for a while, and now running for the 4th District of U.S. Congress.
And the Darien High School Marching Band, under the direction of Jonathan Brower. You can hear them.
Go Blue Wave.
Delighted to have the marching band back after a hiatus with COVID the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Some DAFMedia members in that marching band.
And then we got the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 6933. The color guard is led by Brian O'Malley, U.S. Army, who served in both Iraq and Afghanistan. We also have Vietnam veterans Luther Hunter, Alex Hargrove, and Cookie Thomas.
And the color guard will perform the rifle volley salute at the dedication ceremony after the parade in Spring Grove Veterans Cemetery.
And Connecticut National Guard, First Sergeant Michael Ricard leads members of the Company A, 192nd Engineer Battalion. This outfit served in Afghanistan.
And John, this is a special group to you and your family coming through here, Darien EMS Post 53.
Absolutely. My youngest, Jake, who's walking on our side of the street right now, is part of the Post 53 crowd. These kids are amazing. They were on the front lines during COVID, putting themselves out there, even during the darkest days of the pandemic. But man, what a great organization. It's been serving Darien for over 50 years. And as I said, everybody please get out there, support Post with the food program, or the food festival later today, right after the parade. Really looking forward to that.
Post 53 is such an awesome organization here in Darien, Connecticut. It's been around for decades, and it
nationally recognized,
Yep.
one of a kind,
Yep.
really, really special organization. And the community just pours their heart out for these kids who give back so much to the Darien community.
what they do for this community is truly special.
Yeah, it was founded in 1970, and some of my friends now who are adults having their own children have served in Post,
Yep.
and it's really interesting to hear their perspective of participating in the early days of the organization. Well, 1990s, actually. I'm dating myself, but and how the organization's changed and grown, and again, all privately funded,
Yep.
all volunteers.
Yep.
Much like a lot of this community is, volunteerism in government, the fire departments. It's really something special.
And that is, I think you'd agree, why Darien is the community that it is and remains so today. The Museum of Darien coming through. Longtime supporters of the museum take us on a drive down memory lane with their classic cars. Established in 1953 as the Darien Historical Society, the Museum of Darien, rather, is open every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a revamped visitor experience at the historic Bates Schofield Homestead.
Which is located right where the parade started, right near Goodwise shopping center. And it's one of several historic organizations we'll probably see today.
As I mentioned when we came on the air, just a picture-perfect day. This is a postcard kind of day here in Darien, Connecticut. And weather has gotten in the way in the past.
Not today.
Along, of course, with the pandemic, but not today.
Huge crowds along the routes.
Yeah, we do have great crowds, as you can see from some of our visuals that we're showing you.
So we saw the Good River chapter of the National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution that was led by Virginia Odets. It's marching with the museum, and that's also another nonprofit volunteer organization in town.
The 5th Connecticut Volunteers Revolutionary War reenactors dressed in period costumes ride in a replica of the Middlesex whaling boat, the type of vessel commonly used in the 18th century.
And that was, I believe, a joint venture with the Darien Museum and the Darien Foundation, if I'm not mistaken, that recreated that whaleboat.
You are watching the Darien Memorial Day Parade here in beautiful Darien, Connecticut, 2022. Damian Andrew alongside John Cini, longtime resident of the town of Darien.
And this is the Masonic Club of Darien, Ivanhoe Lodge 107. So that organization has been serving the community and the area of Freemasons since 1925. And I believe the lodge is on the other side of the town, on the east side of town, right behind Rory's.
Rory's a great local establishment. Been there many times. And here is Terry Gaffney, the Monuments and Ceremonies Chairman, who John mentioned earlier. And Terry does such a wonderful job, is a big reason why this parade goes on, or goes off without a hitch, I should say.
He's a real giver to this day and makes things happen.
No question.
Just perfectly. It's really special. Then we have the Darien Chamber of Commerce, led by 3 cars, 1 red, 1 white, and 1 blue. I think there's a
fitting
1957 Chevy pickup in there, a 1965 Ford Mustang GT350, and a 2019 Chevy Colorado. The Chamber is also another very active organization. Our downtown has gone through and is going through massive revitalization, as well as Norotan Heights. And they're playing a paramount role in promoting the new businesses and the existing businesses throughout town.
One of my favorite groups here, the Harney Pender Katie Irish Arts Foundation, has been serving the Stamford Darien communities for over 20 years, having produced regional, national, and world champion dancers from Darien and the surrounding areas. HPK instills a strong work ethic in its dancers while encouraging camaraderie, athleticism, discipline, and fun. And a very talented group here. Our dancers learn important life skills and build lifelong friendships that help them grow into successful and independent adults, whether they choose to dance recreationally or competitively.
So I'm going to talk about this one. As a boater, the Darien Sail and Power Squadron is dedicated to fun on the water. They teach an awesome basic boating class, approved for Connecticut's Safe Boating Certificate, and then more involved courses on seamanship, piloting, navigation, sailing, whole bunch of stuff. They do a clam bake, season starter party, and then the best thing is they do a boat camp. 100 inner city kids come out to Darien. Boat owners volunteer their boats. They spend a day on the water. You have to realize these kids probably have never been on the water, on a boat, certainly in the Darien area, and really have a great day on the seacoast here.
The Depot Youth Center. Middle school and high schoolers find a welcoming, fun, social environment away from outside pressures. The Depot sponsors a variety of programs, events, and activities throughout the school year for 6th through 11th grade youth in a judgment-free, safe environment. All public, private, or homeschooled teens are welcome, and they have a new director, John Novak.
Yeah, and Janet Marzano just walked by with some cymbals, actually, and was banging them in the background. She's still an omnipresent force
involved,
in this community,
yep.
and she hasn't gone anywhere, and we love her to death, and love seeing her still around.
The Darien Men's Association passing by. Led by a 1964, how about this, John? Corvette Stingray, a 2006 BMW convertible, a 2021 Roadrunner e-bike, and a BMW 325i convertible. Now in its 45th year, the DMA is where retired and semi-retired men find good fellowship, friendship, and fun amidst a range of activities designed to nourish both body and mind while promoting a sense of community. Membership is open to all men over 50 residing in Darien and the surrounding towns. Darien Men's Association. And you are watching the Darien Memorial Day Parade on DAFMedia, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Damian Andrew alongside John Cini, current member of Darien Board of Education and the former chair of the Darien Planning and Zoning Commission, and a guy who I've called my friend for the last 5 years.
It's already been 5 years.
5 years. Time goes fast.
When this venture was launched, I'll have to give Mr. Maybell, Mark Maybell, yep, and Peter Graham.
Yep.
They both were basically heading up the Darien Athletic Foundation, and they wanted to create this venture, and they called it the next PBS of Darien. And man, have you guys just killed it. With the technical expertise of Mr. Ferguson,
yep,
as well behind the scenes.
Bruce,
the mad professor, as we call him.
That's right. As I tell people, Bruce is really the brains behind the technology of DAFmedia and does a tremendous job.
So we got the Cub Scouts of America, first steps in the Boy Scout program, packs 55 and 56, Scoutmasters Rob Farley and Kevin Reed. Pack 155, homeschool is Corey Vesey. There's some local packs in Orange. They participated in Jamboree this month with 1,500 scouts. And Pack 161, led by Scoutmaster Jim Roth. Those are kids from Tinley and Tokenie. Basically, each elementary school, as I understand it, has their own pack. We have 5 elementary schools right now. 3 of them about to go through some renovations.
5 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and one high school here in Darien, Connecticut.
And a almost newly completed Ox Ridge Elementary School as well. We've been doing a lot of investments in our schools right now, the facilities.
And that's, you talk about, as we do during this event and broadcast every year, all the wonderful things about Darien. It has an unbelievable public school system.
And then we have Scouts BSA, Troop 219, Darien's first female Scouts BSA troop, founded in February 2019 with 6 intrepid girls. Troop 219 has more than tripled its membership over the last 3 years. In addition to teaching and learning leadership skills, they enjoy spending time together outdoors, just like the Boy Scout troops had in its past. We also have the Darien Democrat Town Committee walking by. As I mentioned, there's a lot of volunteerism in town, and basically there's, as I've counted, well over 300 volunteers that run this town. It's quite impressive that there's only one paid elected official in this town, and the rest runs with blood, sweat, and tear equity.
Yep, yep. The At Home in Darien organization coming down the parade route now. Nonprofit organization which helps Darien senior citizens remain living independently, comfortably, and with dignity in the community by providing meaningful services at no charge at all to Darien seniors. Services include transportation by professional drivers, a half-price taxi voucher program, trustworthy volunteer services, referrals that provide assistance, membership cards that give discounts at local businesses, a monthly calendar of community events, the Out and About newsletter, home safety evaluations, and much, much more. At Home in Darien, a great organization.
You know, Darien's known as one of the youngest communities in Connecticut in terms of age demographics, but it's really important that we look out for our elder generation, and we have a bunch of great programs, including, you know, the Senior Center, which now resides at Town Hall. I guess it's been over a decade, but
No question.
really awesome program there as well.
Great.
That's Joe Pankowski, runs a commission on aging, and I forgot what kind of truck that is, but
it's very cool.
It is awesome. And talking to him, hearing the stories about getting that thing running every season is pretty cool. So,
Pivot Ministries, led by Kevin Covington. Pivot provides a 16-month-long men's residential treatment ministry for recovery from drug and alcohol abuse in a safe and nurturing environment. Pivot Ministries. It is a parade-like atmosphere here in Darien on a beautiful day. Absolutely perfect outside. And we are here near the library, near the end of the parade route. And as John mentioned at the beginning of our broadcast, there will be a ceremony, a Memorial Day ceremony in Spring Grove Veterans Cemetery at the parade's end.
And I believe that's usually taped and then rebroadcast on TV 79.
Correct.
On the back of our YouTube playback too.
Correct.
Right, Daniel?
Correct. And of course, that's put on by the town's Monuments and Ceremonies Commission. And as we mentioned, Terry Gaffney, so involved in that organization, has done such a great job here in Darien, Connecticut, where, like yourself, he has called this place home for many, many years. And we are about halfway through our parade route here.
It's interesting. You said many years. I've lived here more than I lived in Setauket, Long Island, where I grew up now. You know, and it's basically 20 miles southeast, very, you know, coastal community, if you will, and that's what was one of the draws here to Darien right now.
And as you mentioned earlier, you like the water, you like to get out on the water, and certainly an area that allows you to do that.
And get back home pretty easily also across the water.
And I've been, although I do not live in Darien, I have worked in this area in southwestern Connecticut for almost the last 20 years, 17 years. So
we'll get you here one day, Damon. And of course, you've been quite busy filming some of the recent sports activities and schools activities, right?
We just came off broadcasting both the FCAC boys and girls lacrosse championships. Darien was involved in both of those. Darien and New Canaan in the girls finals, and Darien and Wilton in the boys finals. And we've got some stuff coming up before the end of the school year, some state athletic competitions, state tournament games, and some graduations, John.
And I will have my second son, Connor, graduating this year. So really looking forward to that that ceremony later on this month.
Yep, John.
Or next month, I should say.
John and his wife, Michelle, have 3 sons, all of whom have attended Darien public schools.
And I believe we have some Daisy and Brownie divisions that have passed by, and Girl Scouts as well. The Daisy and the Brownies are basically the entry level to the Girl Scout program. And there's troops from Royal, 50767, 50807, led by Gail Kennedy and Laura Adkins. Hindley troops 50533 and 50071, led by Betsy Officer, Jen Tohoyt, and Amanda Warren. And troop 501012, led by Belinda Fang.
As you mentioned a couple moments ago, great crowds here along the parade route, Post Road. And
some of these little ones, you know, have many more steps to take on this parade route.
Yep. No, absolutely. I see some fire trucks making their way down the parade route, and that always are big deals for all the young children in attendance.
Yeah, and it's a big deal for the town. I mean, this is when our volunteers, and it's very uncommon now to have a fully volunteer fire department covered by 3 different departments in town. These guys give a lot to protect our community, and it's a really proud moment. I mean, if you go on their social medias sites over the week, they've been washing the apparatus down.
Yeah.
And they take a lot of pride, and each one of them has a barbecue after the parade, and welcome each, the community into each one. Also. We used to have our boys' birthday parties at Norton Heights, and it's a really, the football team often has pasta dinners in either one of them, and they really give a lot back to the community.
Some more Girl Scouts making their way past our location along the parade route.
It's very clear how meaningful this holiday is, but you can't overlook this small town Americana feel, and it's really, as Terry wrote us in his script, a true throwback to the old days. And each and every year, so many people look forward to this. I mean, frankly, people are along the grassy area here in Nielsen's, the library, across the street at the Gardner Center. People bring snacks, drink, kind of picnics, if you will.
No doubt.
Before the event. And then everybody goes back and, again, celebrates with Post 53 Food Fair, which is back online. It's so, so important to bring back that normalcy around this holiday, which, 2 years ago we did the live broadcast of just the ceremony. We didn't have the parade.
That's right.
And to get the parade back online last year was very meaningful. And now everything's full of its glory, really is.
That's right. And I think the word that comes to mind is community, as you mentioned.
That made me jump.
Yep.
These are the Milford Volunteers, dressed in Revolutionary garb.
This group's been in existence since 1951.
And then the first fire department to walk by is Norton Heights Fire Department.
Yep.
That's led by Chief Zach McEwen. 50 members of this 100% volunteer organization provide fire suppression and rescue services to the northwest quadrant of town and support mutual aid partners. Norton Heights Fire Department possesses advanced apparatus outfitted with cutting-edge tools and technology. Members are paid for every call. They leave their homes. We still have the fire horns go off in town because it's all volunteer and it is an alert system. they do everything from simple alarms to full structure fires and work as one unit also with the other 2 fire departments.
One of their volunteers, Cole Murphy, a good friend of the Cini family and an awesome kid involved in DAF Media. He just passed by. And as I mentioned, the fire truck's always a
fan favorite.
A fan favorite in any parade, and certainly here in Darien.
They have a number 20 is a Mack CF. Number 23 is a 1989 Mack pumper. It's tanker 22 is a 2015 Spartan MetroStar. Rescue 25 is a 1989 Mack rescue truck. And they have the Chief's vehicle, which is relatively new, but some of these age back to my high school days and how well these guys maintain these and ladies maintain these. It's pretty awesome.
And the Darien Green Team, the umbrella organization for 20 nonprofit environmental groups in town, including the Beautification Commission, the Darien Community Association, the DCA Bird Sanctuary, the Darien Nature Center, the Darien Tree Conservancy, Darien Environmental Group, Advisory Committee for Sustainability, Darien Land Trust. They meet every month at the Darien Nature Center or the Darien Community Association to update each other on their work, exchange ideas, and help one another in their green efforts.
And then we have the Darien Republicans right behind them. That's the Darien Town Republican Town Committee as well. Again, I said earlier, these organizations are integral in recruiting many of the town volunteers that step up for appointed and elected government. Well over 300 of us volunteer, and it's a well-oiled machine. I'm getting the call out, trying to distract me.
You are watching the Darien Memorial Day Parade 2022. Damian Andrew alongside John Cini. You're watching this on DAF Media, and joining us, our special guest, John, someone who you know very well, First Selectman Monica McNally.
For her first Memorial Day Parade as First Selectman. Welcome.
So it's such an honor to be here. My dad was a Korean vet, and my father-in-law was World War II, and they used to share a lot of stories, both good and bad, with their kids and their families. And, service to our country. I was at a street naming ceremony yesterday for the Morehouse brothers, and it just struck me how much they did for their country. And when Philip came back to Darien, how much he continued to serve our community. So all of these people marching that are, serving their community right here in Darien need to know how much they're appreciated.
Very well said. And John and I have been talking. You couldn't ask. It's a Chamber of Commerce type of day here in Darien. A beautiful day for this parade.
It is.
This is the Fairfield County Police Pipes and Drums. And then the Darien Fire Department following up. Darien Fire Department, led by Chief Brian Fransfort, was organized in July 31st, 1895 by 26 men. The original Darien Firehouse was the size of a two-car garage, or I think back then they might have said stable. It was located at the southeast corner of Center Street and the Boston Post Road. I believe there's a bank there right now. The lamp from their first apparatus is still working condition and hangs on the wall of the firehouse. Again, another firehouse that they hold a number of community organization events at as well. Interesting fact, Kim Martini became the department's first female firefighter in 1986, and they have about 10 pieces of equipment, including the 1928 Aaron's Fox, which went by a moment ago, entered service in Darien in 1932.
And again, we want to thank First Selectman Monica McNally for joining us on this DAF Media broadcast of the Darien Memorial Day Parade 2022. And you hear those fire engines.
It is a tradition now that when a team wins a state championship, they get a full salute from the fire departments, a little parade themselves.
And Darien High School has had some very successful teams through the years, John. So
I think we're getting the full treatment here, Damien, with the horns and the headphones. Again, all volunteer, but the town supports. Town supports the apparatus, acquisitions, and all the equipment. And so it's a good public-private partnership between these fire departments and the community.
the parade is nearing its end, and of course it ends in front of the Darien Public Library, and there will be a Memorial Day ceremony in Spring Grove Veterans Cemetery at the end of the parade. And you are watching the Darien Memorial Day Parade on DAF Media, a joint venture of the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Our DAF Media production crew, both student volunteers, both juniors at Darien High School. Our director and graphics operator, Braden Schenk, and our camera operator is Adam Nelson. And it's great to have both of them here with us today on this beautiful day. Could not do what we do at DAF Media without our student volunteers, who so many of them very much involved in the organization, which is now in its fifth year. And as John said, that is hard to believe. It seems like it was only yesterday when we first started this venture.
Basically started live streaming games, if I remember correctly, and then from then on, it's
we've
come a long way.
We've kind of expanded. We always wanted to do the Memorial Day Parade because, to your point, some of the founding fathers of DAF Media saw this as like a community PBS, a new age community PBS.
And do we have to give a bit of a shout out to Nielsen's for allowing us to use their
Nielsen,
Wi-Fi?
Yep, Nielsen. Actually, the library.
The library.
We're getting internet. Our internet connection from the library, and so Kira Parrott, the director over there, has been great to work with, as was Alan Gray when he was in that position.
A longtime director. And this is the last of the three fire departments, the Norotan Fire Department, led by Chief Brendan Keene. Over 50 active members in this company provide fire and rescue services, like them all, 24/7, 365. And this one's been around since 1896. It's a Marine unit, and this is what differentiates Norotan. It protects boaters along the coastline year-round with 3 boats. So if there's a boating emergency, they're the ones out there. Before moving to where they are now since 1952 in Norotan, it occupied the building, which now serves as the home of the Darien Book Aid. The department also features Joe Warren's world-famous chili dogs at its open house after the parade. I might have to swing by there, grab one of those chili dogs, then make my way to the Post 53 fair. They have 8 apparatus, engines 31, 32, 31 Reserve, which is right in front of us now. It's a yellow, it's an open cab fire engine that they use as a backup. And from time to time, you might see Santa Claus riding around the town during the holiday season, and in that ride, if you will.
John, I just want to go back to something we said earlier and talk again about the Grand Marshal of this parade this year, John Walcott. You saw him earlier at the beginning of the parade riding with his wife Jane, received a Bronze Star for his service for our country. And John, he's served in several volunteer capacities in the town of Darien, including a stint as president of the Darien Men's Association, is currently serving on the town's Board of Finance. So the Grand Marshal for the Darien Memorial Day Parade 2022, John Walcott.
A bit of a theme of volunteerism.
Yep.
Everybody we talk about in
I was
this
hoping
town.
you'd go there, yeah.
It's pretty awesome. And there's a lot of givers in this town, as some of my friends say, and very fortunate to live in this community. There's so many great things about it. My tagline is, I love this town, and I'll say it again and again and again.
Yep.
Well, we have a flyover right now of the C-130. Probably hear it. It's the Connecticut Air National Guard, I believe, a C-130 plane.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was tough to figure out when they were going to show up like every year, but it was an awesome flyover, east to west, and a flyover the cemetery as well. Really something special.
We hope all our viewers watching at home or wherever you're watching from were able to hear that. As
about 1,000 feet, I would guess, not too much higher.
And we have come to the conclusion of our Memorial Day Parade 2022. As John mentioned earlier, a couple of times during our broadcast, there will be a ceremony, a Memorial Day ceremony in Spring Grove Veterans Cemetery following the parade. So if you want to head down and take in the ceremony, it is truly a special event, and TV 79 will be covering that Memorial Day ceremony. You talked about community givers. Want to thank you because you are a giver as well and have done so much for this town, and have done a lot for DAF Media, especially on this day. Always love catching up with you and having you come out here and talk about your love for this town and the community and everything that it has to offer, because it truly is a special place.
It's a special treat, Damien, and thanks to the organization for having me every year. And again, Terry Gaffney, he gets a shout out again, our student volunteers, especially yourself. You don't get enough thanks in this community, and we're going to give you, like I said, an honorary address one of these years, or we'll figure it out.
Maybe a key, yeah, maybe an honorary key. I want to thank our DAF Media production crew again, John, Adam Nelson, Braden Schenk. Adam Nelson ran our main camera today. Braden Schenk handled the directing duties and our graphics. I want to thank both of them for giving of their time on this Memorial Day morning, and could not do it without them.
We'll see everybody at the Post 53 Fair after the ceremony, and then until next year, Damien.
Absolutely. Want to thank Mr. John Cini once again for giving a couple hours of his time on this Memorial Day. Thank you, John. As John, we are on camera. I don't know if you know this right now.
Oh, I didn't know
right
that.
John's wearing his Post 53 T-shirt. But for all of you out there, have a wonderful Memorial Day. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Think about what this day means. And again, for all of us here at DAF Media, I am Damian Andrew. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next year, and we'll see you in the coming weeks for some more DAF Media programming. Have a wonderful day.